Hi guys, Laura here with STP. It is no secret that the math sections are way harder now on the digital SAT than they were on the paper test. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to tackle 3 of the hardest problems that have been released by College Board for the math. Just a heads up, you can access these 3 problems. I'm putting a link in the description below. So you should definitely get that PDF and try the problems along with me. See if you can get them before I explain it. Preply, the digital SAT prep app that is available in the App Store and in Google Play. Are you running out of questions on College Board's Bluebook exams in Khan Academy? Do you hate having to sit down at your computer and take a full digital SAT test every time you want to practice? Then Preply is perfect for you. Preply is a daily digital SAT practice app with hundreds of exclusive questions in both the English and the math. You can prep where you want, when you want, all from the palm of your hand, since Preply is for mobile devices and for iPads. If you only feel like doing 10 questions that day, that's totally okay. Do a little bit in study hall, or when you're on the bus, or when you're waiting for that friend who is always running late. You guys know what I'm talking about. We all have one of those. Do Preply anytime you're bored, and I'll tell you, your parents will not be upset that you are on your phone. What's great is that Preply categorizes each question by type, so that you can hone in on your individual weaknesses and practice the same question category over and over and over again until you master it. But wait, there's more. Preply has a new digital AI tutor named 𝗙𝗿𝗲𝗲 who can answer all your questions about the test. Ask 𝗙𝗿𝗲𝗲 questions like, can you give me a strategy for logically completes the text? With 𝗙𝗿𝗲𝗲, your score gains are truly possible. Why pay for an expensive test prep tutor when you have 𝗙𝗿𝗲𝗲 at your fingertips? If you need more exclusive, awesome digital SAT prep materials, head to the App Store or Google Play and download Preply today. It will push your score to the finish line on test day. All right, guys, let's look at problem number 1. Now, a problem like this may or may not have been on the March SAT. That is all I'm saying there. But we have f equals a to the x plus b is graphed in the xy plane and passes through the points n, 5 and 2n, 130. What could be the possible value of b? So what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to substitute in my values for x and y, and I'm going to have 2 equations. So 130 is my y in the second, so it's a to the 2n. Okay. Now, I know that instinctually you probably want to solve for b and then set them equal to each other, but you're going to get blocked doing that. This is more of an exponent rules problem. So essentially, we can rewrite this bottom one as a to the n squared plus b. So if we can basically take this top equation, isolate a to the n, then we can substitute it into the bottom one. So when we do that, we really have a to the n equals 5 minus b, because I subtract b over to the other side. So I'm going to now substitute in 5 minus b into that set of parentheses and then square it. So now I have this as my equation. Okay, now I'm going to continue to expand it out and solve this algebraically. Okay, now I have an equation. It's a quadratic. I'm going to look for the solutions by typing it into Desmos. And instead of b's, I'm going to use x's because Desmos reads really x's and y's. So it looks like we have 2 solutions, one at negative 6.692 and one at 15.692. So when they say what is one possible solution, you could put either one of those down. Or pick one if you have multiple choice. Okay, now here's one of the other hardest problems that I've seen. This is one that every single student that I work with, for the most part, gets stuck on and they're not really sure how to proceed. It's confusing because it's hard to understand what they're asking for, but here's my first tip. If you see constants like A and B, and they say they're constants, I want you to think Desmos. If you type that equation into Desmos, you can set a slider for A and B and make it really easy to move the graph around to get what you want. Now they said that the product of the solutions, and by the way, we know it's a quadratic because your highest exponent is squared. So what we're going to be doing when we graph it is we're going to be looking for the solutions and we're going to multiply them together because they said the product of the solutions. So the product of the solutions is going to equal KAB. So let's throw it in there, and then what we can do is we can set A and B to numbers that will make it really easy to figure out what K is. Okay, so as you can see, I've entered the equation into Desmos, and I'm going to zoom in because I want to see where the solutions are. The solutions are where they cross the x-axis. Okay, so I like A and B being 1. Why? Because if A and B are 1, then that means we can isolate K, because K times 1 is going to be K. So really we just need to multiply the two solutions together now, and that will give us K. So when I look at the solutions, it looks like there's one at -1 and there's one at -0.018. So when you multiply that together, you will get 0.018. So when you throw all the fractions into your calculator, 1 divided by 57 is 0.018, so the answer is A. Okay guys, hardest problem 3. Apparently unit circle is coming back again as a concept that's tested on the SAT. But don't panic, it's a lot easier than you think it is. So we have in the given figure, theta is an angle. If sine of theta equals rad3/2, what is cosine theta? First of all, I'm going to use the reference angle. So I'm going to make a right triangle right here because here's my reference angle in the second quadrant. And actually, let me zoom in a little bit because you can't, that looks like a little blob. We don't want that. We want it to look better. So I'm going to zoom in on the picture. Well, it's very blurry, but you guys get the point. So here's my theta, okay? All right, so I see a radical 3/2, and sine of theta basically is it's opposite over hypotenuse, right? So that means the opposite side is going to be radical 3 and the hypotenuse is going to be 2. I know that this is a special right triangle. It's a 30, 60, 90, so this other side is 1. If you didn't know that, you can always go to the reference table in Bluebook. It gives you this special right triangle right on there. But rule of thumb, if you see a rad 3, it's probably a 30, 60, 90. If you see a rad 2, it's probably a 45, 45, 90. So go check your reference table. But anyways, now they want cosine from theta. So that's really, really easy because cosine's adjacent over hypotenuse. So if I'm going from theta, adjacent is going to be 1 and hypotenuse is going to be 2. So it's 1/2. But be very careful because you need to think about the quadrants. Here's quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. There's an acronym. All students take calculus. So that means sine is the only positive trig function in quadrant 2. Since we're dealing with cosine, that means it's going to be a -1/2. All right guys, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. If you want extra support on math and you want a really good, solid prep plan, I'd recommend you sign up for our math self-paced course. You can access exclusive video lessons and materials not available anywhere else. So click the link up here to go enroll in that today. And until next time guys, happy prepping.